Welcome into Falcon Field, game number 10 here in the Forest Acres Classic. We had a fun one for you this morning again in the quote of, the tagline of this tournament, every single game delivers. First one played along the tune, a game that technically didn't mean anything in the standings-wise. Both coaches came in their A game and ended up being a Coach Bonnet win for his Gators of River Bluff. They grabbed their first win of the tournament, so no one will go home without a loss, and that just proves how talented this field is. Anyone can beat anyone, and that was from the first jump. TC Robertson, that was a big win that propelled them, and they'll play in the championship game tomorrow. And they'll have to wait to see who they play, as Coach Philippek's sitting up to the right of me. He's got to watch potentially one of the two teams he'll be playing tomorrow. This side of the bracket, every single team still in it. Well, this is always a fun one. Everyone's 1-1. So Lexington 1-1, Miller 1-1, Indian Land and Flora all 1-1 in the tournament. So how is it going to work? Well, for all my Falcon faithful who are with me watching this game, we are Lexington fans technically. You need Lexington to win, and of course you need to win tonight. On the other side, Lexington, you need yourself to win, and you need Indian Land to beat AC Flora. Indian Land, you need to win, and you need Miller to win this game, and then Miller needs to win, and then Miller needs AC Flora to beat Indian Land. You follow my drift? Well, it'll make a lot more sense after the conclusion of this one. This will go a long way to figure who can make the championship game against TC Robertson. And then Coach Eric Philippek, the National Coach of the Year, has brought his Rams down to Columbia. 2-1 in the tournament, looking to go 3-1 with a championship game tomorrow. Well, they'll face potentially one of these two teams. You get any of the four. That's like the hardest part, is I put some background music on. I'll slide that down just a tad while I keep talking. I know y'all are probably tired of me doing all my stuff, but it's all good. A little farther. There we go. So, the Miller School of Albemarle, after dropping the first game 1-0 that they played against Indian Land, it was a Liam Roberson masterclass. Now, the Miller School will look to try to get back to a 2-1 win. That was their first loss at Forest Acres in over 2 years. Well, they'll play a team they're familiar with, or at least somewhat familiar with, a team that almost beat them last year, the Lexington Wildcats. But a little different game, a little different feel in this one. It's a lot of seniors for Lexington and a couple of seniors for Miller last year. Now it's a very senior-heavy Miller team and a young, up-and-coming Lexington team. Miller won that thriller 6-4 last year. It felt like those two teams are walking into that Wednesday game, and that Wednesday game, a heavyweight fight feel at 4 p.m. last year, lived up to the hype. That was awesome. Back and forth where Kaysen Wagner pitched a great game. Then, of course, the heart of that Lexington order, Spivey Cromer breaks free, as I think it was Blight who had the big-time hit later in that game, later in the inning, that put Lexington on top for all of about 2 more outs. And the Miller School came all the way back, played in 4. They ended up winning 6-4. Now, in search of their three-peat here at the Forest Acres Classic, they have to go through Lexington once again. Let's roll through the lineups here. Miller School, the designated home team. Lexington, the designated visiting team. Let's go around the diamond. Drew Wade, the young junior, will get the start on the hill. Cody Peck behind the dish. First base, Connor Lockhart. Second, Jay Dorsey. John Michael Sheff, the shortstop. At third, Will Tomlinson. Left field, Noah Gray. Center, Mandela Browman. And right field, Jackson Rosales. DH will be Kaysen Wagner, the Coastal Carolina commit. And let's go through the Lexington order. On the hill, it's going to be Jake Epps. We'll talk about him a little more. Christian Spivey leading it off. Second, Graham Coleman. Third, Jackson Kuiper. Fourth, Cross George. Fifth, Alan Hegler. Jones Bell batting 6th. Lawson Humans batting 7th. Batting 8th, David Laney. And batting 9th, Hamp Watts. Well, this will figure it out. Flora faithful here in attendance. A couple of Gators watching their crosstown rivals. They'll be doing some battles later in the season. And the Falcons are anxiously waiting the result of this one. Lexington Miller, round 2. It'll be the left-handed South Carolina commit Christian Spivey versus the young sophomore Drew Wade. First pitch is called, strike 1. Fastball low in the zone, and we are underway in game 10. Right-hander against the left-hander. The 0-1. Changeup stays wide. Ball 1. 1-1 the count here to Spivey. Spivey had a great game against these Mavericks last season. 2 for 3 with an RBI. The 1-1. Spivey drills that one to deep right field, but it's just a bit too high. Rosales will have a read. He comes in and makes the grab for out number 1. Spivey gets under a 1-1 heater, and it's now 1 away. Well, looking back at yesterday, Lexington had the game of the tournament, I feel like, where they were down 9-1 at one point. Came all the way back, put 7 across in that 7th inning to knock off the Indian Land Warriors, which put this whole side of the bracket into turmoil. Right on right, Graham Coleman now up. First pitch to him. Fastball call, strike one on the outside edge. You know, for Drew Wade, making his now fourth start, a 3-1 record in his fifth appearance, a 4.53 ERA. You know, this Miller school, it feels really weird looking at them because, well, first of all, the 0-1. That one's lined to the right side, is gloved by the first baseman, Lockhart. Nice stab out of it. There's 2 away. But, you know, you see all these ERAs for Miller. I don't think that really tells a story of how good this Miller team is. Miller has gone down, played some of the best competition in Florida, played some of the best competition in Virginia already, and now they're playing some of the best competition in South Carolina. Coach Wagner, one of the best when it comes to scheduling the hardest schedules you can find. First pitch now to the 3-hole. Jackson Kuiper's the first pitch curveball called strike one. Wade filling the zone up early. Infield playing a tad back, the 0-1. Fastball in there, ball one. Again, Coach Wagner with that competition. Lexington now for their second straight classic. I mean, it just tells you how talented this classic is. Every single team is state championship contender of their respective division. The 1-1 from Wade. That ball is grounded right back up the middle for a base knock. Kuiper, who had a big hit last night, starts his day off strong, a 2-out single. Kuiper was one of the kids last night that was able to put a big runner across. And now it's Cross George, the hero of yesterday. Kuiper was 2 for 4, but Cross George was 3 for 4 with a double in the walk-off homer. The 3-run blast over the left field wall. That I will never forget what the Indian Land parent told me afterwards before that first pitch right on right. Fastball call, strike one of the outer third. You know, I was so excited. You know, I lost my mind. I mean, that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And he goes, what channel are you yelling to? I need to listen to later. Because he won't be here today. Indian Land, Flora, the nightcap. Next game up is Dorman and Airport. That game will decide the third place game participant. The 0-1. Breaking ball, chopped over to the left side. It's the third baseman, Tomlinson, who's got it. Throws it across the diamond, and the easy does it. Drew Wade navigates through the first inning, and the Miller School comes to bat for the first time. We return. All right, I'll come back a little early yet again. Let's talk through the lineups here. It's Jake Epps on the hill. He looks to be opening the game yet again. He worked as an opener against AC Flora in their Monday night game. Went 2 innings of scoreless baseball. An opener, for those who aren't familiar with the term, is a pitcher that will go just like an inning or two to really flip it over to your long inning guy. Well, he'll be on the hill behind the dish. David Laney making his season debut. At first base, Alan Hegler. Second, Jones Bell. Short, Graham Coleman. Third, Christian Spivey. Cross George in left. Hamp Watson center. Jackson Kuiper in right field. Down the middle lineup really quickly. Brauman, Dorsey, Sheff, Wagner, Gray, Lockhart, Rosales, Peck, and Tomlinson. Mandela Brauman, the man in center field, the leadoff man who was an uncharacteristically quiet Forest Acres Classic last year. Charlie Fentner, MVP. That goes to the MVP of the entire tournament. He'll lead it off here. Right on right against Epps. The first pitch. Mandela Brauman squares around a bunch to the left side. Could be a tough play. Epps off the mound to field at the throw into first is not in time. Brauman, who was hitless last night, has a leadoff bunt single for the Mavericks.
Dorsey.
I believe he tried to do that last night against the Falcons. Didn't work as well as that. That time, though, Brauman lays one down. It's now his second hit of the tournament, just 2 for 9. You know, if we were talking to one of the, I think the dad of Connor Lockhart after the game yesterday, and he's like, you know, he comes in hitting 600. I'm like, yeah, you know, law of averages, eventually you have to cool down a bit. See if Brauman goes here, first pitch. Does not. It's Jay Dorsey who takes ball one. off-speed pitch on the outside. Well, Dorsey, this lineup is very similar yesterday to what the Mavericks showed. In game 1, it was Chef batting second. Now they moved Dorsey from the 6-hole to the 2-hole. 1 for 5 yesterday. Jeff Epps will fake the throw to first. I'm not sure if that was intentional or just keep Brauman close. I mean, Brauman, 11 stolen bags, nothing to scoff at. I'm sure he'll be going one of these next couple pitches. He goes there, the 1-0. Is grounded over to the second base side, and that will be right where the hole Jones Bell, the second baseman, vacated. Going from first to third is Brauman. And timely hitting, the Miller School starts off hot. They have runners now at first and third, nobody out.
Up next for Miller, number 4, John Michael Schiff.
We saw that earlier in the T.C. Robertson game in Dorman in game 1. That's how that rally started for the Rams. Sierra dribbled one right through the hole. Dorsey well struck that one, but that was right where the second baseman Bell was. He was going to cover second as Brauman was in motion. So runners at the corners, nobody gone here in the bottom of the first. The Miller School is trying to start it off, and it's the Virginia Tech commit John Michael Schiff up, the southpaw, who had a stellar day at the dish yesterday. He went 2 for 4. First pitch, that one's flown into the air, the shallow left field, cross George. Comes over towards the line, will make the catch. That ball is deep enough, though, and a weak throw in will score the first run of the game. Brauman comes home off the sacrifice fly.
Now batting, number 8.
So after a spotless day on Monday, Epps gives his first run of the tournament up. Epps now making his 6th appearance of the season. Give up now 2 earned runs over 6 1/3 innings pitched. He's now given up 4 hits in his season. Well, it's the left-handed Kason Wagner, who had another nice day at the plate. Wagner 2 for 3 with a walk yesterday. You know, talking to Jim Stevens, Wagner has been one of the best players of the tournament. You know, he has technically a loss on his record, but it was a 6-inning gem against the Indian Land Warriors. You give up 1 run, you think that's good? Well, with Liam Roberson on the mound, you don't really know what to expect. Roberson, something these Miller School Mavericks haven't seen. A pitcher that hits 80, high of 80, but hits every single spot he possibly wants. First pitch, that one's lined in the left field. George trailing back toward the track will make the one-handed grab. Retreating back to first is Dorsey, a long fly out for out number 2. Wagner retired for the second time this tournament. It'll now be Noah Gray, the Eastern Carolina commit. Wagner going to Coastal Carolina, but as a pitcher, Noah Gray will be going as a hitter, and he's having another solid Forest Acres Classic here. Gray 2 for 6 with a double. Pick off at first. Dorsey stays there close. Only 4 stolen bags for him on the season. The Miller School in, they're all teals. Lexington, they're all blacks. First pitch to the right-hander. Breaking ball called. Strike 1 in the inner third. Noah Gray comes into this game hitting .357 over 42 at-bats. Went 2 for 3 in the win yesterday against the Falcons. This Miller School took out their aggression with being held scoreless. 9 hits against AC Flora, 6 runs. Our AC Flora defensive day that they don't remember. A couple early errors dug them in a deep hole, and you know, can't come back every game, unfortunately. They put a lot of good swings on the ball, but folks were playing pepper with the outfielders half the time. 1-2, 0-1. Pitch back at first. I mean, I remember especially Brauman running down a ball in right center field that felt like it should not have been ran down. Talking to Charlie earlier, he's like, you know, our field is just so small that sometimes you play more in right center and it helps you out defensively. Epps, another throw back to first. If you remember the hit and run earlier in the inning, ended up helping Miller score a run. It was a sac fly from John Michael Schiff is how this 1-0 game has started. The 0-1, breaking ball in tight. I don't know how it didn't hit Gray. It's ball 1. Epps last year was a stellar junior, a 1.01 ERA over 20 and 2/3 innings. The 1-1, that one's lined to the left side over the head of the shortstop Coleman into shallow left center field. Dorsey being held up at second. Third hit of the first inning belongs to Noah Gray, and the Miller School still threatening here with 2 away.
Up next for Miller, number 7, Connor Lockhart.
Well, now it's Connor Lockhart, the sophomore, hitting .347 over 49 at-bats. One of the top players in that sophomore class of Virginia, ranked as 12 in the latest updated prep baseball polls. The right-hander digs in. Epps trying to navigate through the first inning. Runners at first and second, 2 away. The pitch. That one's grounded right back up the middle, right at the second baseman. Bell, who was playing him perfectly. He'll step on the bag. He was right behind second, and that will retire the side. The Mavericks leave 2 on the base pass, but they get a sac fly to take the 1-0 advantage. We'll go to the second. Welcome back to Falcon Field. Top of the second incoming, just like last year. Miller out to an early 1-0 lead against the Wildcats. Now Lexington will bring 5, 6, and 7, and leading it off. One of the most dangerous hitters in this lineup, Alan Hegler, who had not 1 but 2 blasts yesterday for the Wildcats. A 2 for 3 RBI a day affair. Drew Wade back out there, right on right, first pitch. Fastball one's laced down the left field line and just foul. That one was close. That one's hard to see in the sun for me as it's now peaking at the highest point in the sky right now. It's a little after 1. That third base umpire, a great view, had a hit right in front of him, and he immediately signals foul. So a line foul ball for strike 1 here. Infield playing back against Hegler. The 0-1. He gets a curveball and takes that one to center field. Brauman, trailing back toward the track, has room at the wall and makes the one-handed grab for out number 1. Well, we talk about how this wind has been picking up in the air. Every fly ball, you kind of have to hold your breath. I mean, it looked like a routine pop-up yesterday Austin Rath hit, and Rath said, I got enough of that one. What are you talking about? Drove it to center for the RBI game-ending double. Walk-off, if you will. Now it's Jones Bell up for the first time today. Second baseman. Right on, right. Wade will wind and deal. The first pitch is a fastball away for ball 1. Miller, the home team, I believe, for the first time this tournament. They were the visiting team, not once but twice. The 0-1. Called to strike 1. Change up on the inside part of the plate. Yeah, Wagner only pitched 6 innings. They were the away team in that first game and couldn't push a run across to get even. A 1-0 victory. Easily the lowest scoring game of the tournament. The 1-1. That ball is lifted into left field, down the left field line. That will get down to the corner for extra bases. Gray's got a great arm, runs that down. Racing for second is Bell. The throw is cut off and not in time. Even the good arm of Noah Gray couldn't get that one in quickly. It's a stand-up double for Jones Bell with 1 away.
Now batting number 15, Lawson Yeomans.
Well, it's really hard to get an extra base hit against this Miller outfield. Noah Gray in left, Mandela Brauman in center, Jackson Rosales in right. Look, they've run down everything so far this tournament, but that one was struck well enough into the corner. And now a stand-up double for Bell brings up Lawson Yeomans. The left-handed designated hitter will dig in. Runner on second for the first time today for Lexington. Wade out of the stretch now will work. The first pitch. It's a change up wide, ball 1. Well, if you've been staying along with this tournament, tagline, every game delivers. Feels like this could be another one of those. Of course, the Miller School and Lexington winner of this will play tomorrow. They'll have to wait for the nightcap to figure out what game they're in. The 1-0. Fastball call, strike one, slotted in on the outer third. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away here in the top of the second. Miller out to the 1-0 advantage. However, Lexington threatening. They have a 2-out base runner on, or a 1-out base runner on second. Yeah, I remember everyone asked me, like, are you tired on Monday? I'm like, no, I'm fine Monday. It's today that's the one. The 1-1. Called strike two. Change up on the outer third. You know, Monday's fine. I feel like Monday, you know, I'm still ready to raring to go. Great day of baseball. It's the now back-to-back long nights and early mornings is the one where you start dragging. Luckily, not as long of a night. I only have to do prep work for half the teams. There's a game at 10 tomorrow for third place, and then the 1 o'clock championship game. The 1-2. Fastball got him looking. Strike three. Froze him on ice with the heater on the inside edge, and there's 2 away. First strikeout of the game for Drew Wade, his 9th strikeout of the season. He's not a big strikeout pitcher, but gets a big one there. And now it's David Laney making his season debut. Laney, the senior, was 1 for 1 last year with 2 RBIs. He's catching today for the Wildcats and will look to produce with a runner on second and 2 away. Right on right, first pitch is grounded over to third baseman Thomas under his glove. That'll be down to the left field corner for a base knock. Racing around third is Bell. He will score. That throw is cut off on the infield. An RBI single. Welcome to Lexington, David Laney. We're tied at 1.
Up next for the Wildcats, number 28, Camp Watts.
That will actually go down as an error on the third baseman Tomlinson. We've seen some great plays from the hot corner this tournament and some tough errors. We'll get a hero's welcome. Laney coming back to the dugout. He's not at this game at 1 here in the top of this second. And now it's the 9-hole. Hamp Watts looking to flip the lineup over. Looks like it's Jonathan Cosmopoulos over at first. He's the courtesy runner for the catcher. Hamp Watts, the 9-hole, digs in. First pitch called, strike one. Fastball in the inner third. Well, I think Watts has surprised pretty much everyone with his arm. He may not be the tallest one. I believe he might be just around 5 feet, but he's had a good throw at the end of the game against AC Flora, just a bit up the line. The 0-1. Curveball called, strike two. Watts watched to go by, and quickly behind, 0-2. Right on right, the freshman 0 for 2 yesterday. He's looking for his, what would be, first hit of the tournament. There we go. Took way too long to find his name. Apparently the alphabetical I have listed. Nice throw back to first, not in time for the courtesy runner. Apparently the alphabetical list didn't help me there. Yeah, for the fun broadcasting tidbit, you know, you usually number your roster. You can either do it as the 0-2 on the way is tapped foul over the pitchers. Now going to be a tough play. Chef has it. The shortstop, the quick throws, not in time, offline. The courtesy runner, Cosmopoulos, will go to third. Hamp Watts beats out an infield single. And just like that, the Mavericks in some trouble here in the second. The Wildcats have runs at the corners, and it's Christian Spivey at the dish.
Now batting number 5.
Well, that's a soft tapper over the mound. Chef had to quickly collect and fire to first. It was offline, and the error allows Laney to, or Cosmopoulos, excuse me, the courtesy runner to head to third. Well, 2 away, runners at the corners now for Christian Spivey. First pitch to him is a fastball called, strike one on the outer third. It feels like that's where every single pitch against Spivey has been. The junior going to South Carolina next year looking for his marquee hit of the Classic, the 0-1. Fastball wide, ball one. You know, we're talking, no one wants to give him a pitch to hit, and who can blame him? Last season when he had Kroner behind him, he had 7 home runs, 29 RBIs. Now the leadoff man, a homer and 6 of them this year. The 1-1. Pitch, that one stroked into right field, but right at Rosales. He's coming in fast, that ball dropping quickly. The dive is made by Rosales, who takes away a hit from Christian Spivey and keeps this game tied at 1. Brownman will flip Rosales the hit, and the Miller School gets out of the inning, but not before Lexington strikes back. A 1-1 ball game going to the bottom of the second. We come back. Welcome back to Falcon Field. Jackson Rosales leading off. A diving stop from Spivey at third. The throw into first is not in time off the glove of Hegler. I mean, welcome back to Falcon Field. Good to hear from you again. Good to see you. It's going to be an error, I believe, on the first baseman, Hegler. Spivey made an incredible diving effort at third, but couldn't finish it off, and the leadoff base runner aboard for the Miller School. First pitch, the right-hander Rosales swung, laced one down the third, and will find a way on board again. He reached yesterday the exact same way off of a couple errors. Now it's the bottom of the order, Cody Peck up. The right-hander versus the right-hander. First pitch thrown by him, change up low in the zone. It's a swing and a miss for strike one. Well, good morning, everyone. It was a quick return to the second. I come back and immediately see almost a great play. The 0-1 curveball stays in tight, ball one. One ball, one strike. Nobody gone here in the bottom of the second. The Miller School and Lexington knotted up at one after Lexington fought back and had an RBI knock from Hamp Watts. Or not Hamp Watts, I think that was Laney? Yeah, there we go. It was a ball from Laney, excuse me. Ended up going right as an error on the third baseman, Tomlinson. So 1-1 is the count, 1-1 is the score in the bottom of the second. Pick off at first. Well, I was talking to Coach Wagner. He was, I think he took note of that. He said they saw the same thing down in Florida, but Coach Bonnet did earlier today at the pickoff. The 1-1. Curveball stays a little low and in. Ball two. You remember, lad, kept picking off to first was T.C. Robertson, and all of a sudden, the young freshman kind of looped one over to first, and the third base runner took off and was in there easily at home, and what scored to be the deciding run of the game. At that point, it was an extra insurance run to put him up by 3. Of course, that's why you score those runs, though. Robertson responded with 2 in the next inning and couldn't push that tying run across. 2-1 the count. Epps deals. And kills one right by Cody Peck. A fastball in tight. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Of course, it's Tomlinson who's in the on-deck circle. Then Mandela Browman in the hole. 2 up for Miller this inning. The 2-2. Breaking ball. That one's ground on the ground to Graham Coleman at short. Goes back in the hole. Got to make the long throw to first, and it is not in time. A ball that was well struck in the hole. Be an infield single. Miller School, just like back in the first 2 batters reach here.
Box number 3, Will Tomlinson.
Well, now it's Will Tomlinson up. Tomlinson trying to help himself out. Technically had the error last inning. It was a sharply hit ball from Laney that they called an error. The third baseman 0 for 1 with 2 walks against AC Flora last night. And this could be bunt potential. Coleman, the shortstop, going to play pretty much straight up. Spivey on the infield grass, as well as Hegler, the first baseman. Right on right, and stepping off and looking at second. Well, trying to see if Tomlinson was going to show his hand. The right-hander is not there. At least if he's bunting, he didn't. Still waiting for the first pitch to be thrown to the right-hander. Lexington preparing for the bunt. And he does square on. The first pitch is low, ball 1, a fastball. He pulls it back, and Laney able to pounce on it. No idea. Can't find my sunglasses. Oh, they're right there in front of me. That's about right. Runner at first and second, 1-0 the count. Now a flash to second, and Epps looks back the runner. Again, Epps in his second appearance in this tournament. He's going to have 1 earned run now off of 4 hits. He's looking to navigate through the second. Another storm potentially brewing here for the Miller School. Now some action over there at second. The bunt's down to the third base side. Spivey quickly fields and bobbles it. Can he throw out at first? And yes, Cooley collects and throws the runner out at first. A sacrifice bunt moves both runners into scoring position. Well, Spivey bobbled it initially. But I mean, cool, calm, collected, the red-haired junior. Kind of late, not really lazily, but kind of takes his time, picks it up, delivers a strike to first for the first out. It will go down as a sack bunt for Will Tomlinson. Now there's runners at second and third with 1 away, and here comes the top of the order. It's Mandela Browman up for the second time today. He reached on a bunt single his first go-around after he came around to score first run of the game. First pitch is the curveball that stays away, ball 1. Browman scored on the deep sacrifice fly by John Michael Sheff. Browman, that was his second hit of the tournament, potentially looking for a third now. The 1-0. The right-hander watches the fastball skip in, ball 2. the former Charlie Fettner MVP award. You know, him and Spivey last year had such great spots in the order. You had Brauman had Hankins in front of him. For Spivey, you had Cromer behind. Of course, both of those are gone. The 2-0 is foul tipped a high heat. It'll be 2-1. A lot of Falcons here in the stands watching this one. Again, they have great interest in how this game turns out. Falcon faithful need a win from the Millers, or a win from Lexington to have a chance to play for a championship tomorrow. Of course, both these teams, Lexington and Miller, need a win to play tomorrow. The 2-1 is flown out to center field. Hamp Watts ranges over into the right center field gap. He'll make the grab for out number 2. He's got a strong arm. He'll throw that into third, but both runners will tag and move up a bag. That's a long sacrifice fly for Brauman, and Miller retakes the lead, 2-1, as Peck will go to third.
Now batting number 13, Jay Dorsey.
Well, Miller doing what they need to do. Back-to-back sacrifice flies here in the inning. Gives them the 2-1 lead. And now it's Jay Dorsey. Dorsey, who had one hit last night against AC Flora, has a hit today. He singled through the vacant hole on the right side of the infield. We'll see how they play him, and they shave him to the left. The first pitch to the right-hander is a curveball, stays upstairs for ball 1. It was timely hitting from Dorsey. It was a hit and run. Mandela Brauman was trying to steal second. The 1-0. Fastball called, strike 1. Hits the top part of the zone. Dorsey, one of the youngest players in this Miller school. One of the couple sophomores littered through the lineup. The 1-1. Fastball high and away, ball 2. Coach Wagner has a plethora of talent today. We have Drew Wade, the sophomore, Connor Lockhart, the sophomore, and Jay Dorsey, the sophomore, all getting the start today. The 2-1. Breaking ball is flown out to the right field line. This is going to be a long run for Kuiper. The right fielder's got room near the line and makes the one-handed grab to retire the side. Well, Miller threatening, pushes only one run across. Another sacrifice fly, this time for Mandela Brauman, and they hold a 2-1 lead. We're going to go to 3, but I'm not going to go away. We're going to take a quick break, but I'm going to talk about our sponsors here yet again. Sponsoring yet another Forest Acres Classic is Coach Dorsey and the Richland 215, the Los Legion team here in the Midlands. A team that, you know, you can play for your community. I think Coach Dorsey does a great job of bringing the community in there as well. I think Sam was telling me yesterday that all the post, you know, members on that board came and watched that championship game, and the whole playoff run that the 215 were able to put up, a state championship playoff run that ended right here at Falcon Field after starting the game at Founders Park. There we go, Alex. So go to sc.legion.com to sign up for your local Legion team today and play against some of the best competition this state has to offer, and a great fun summer league. Sam is on record saying it's the most fun he's ever had playing summer league baseball in his life. And of course, Chris Dorsey has to do a day job. It's the Big Red Box Dumpster Company, an all-inclusive private waste disposal company. They'll bring you a dumpster, you fill it up, they'll take it away. It's that simple, that easy. Just go to www.bigredboxdumpstercompany.com and book your dumpster today. I mean, they're able to deliver anywhere. But I feel like I've said that enough. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't book a dumpster through them. I feel like I see them all the way around. John Gervais Street over by Williams-Brice Stadium, helping with their new renovations in that stadium. Again, redboxdumpstercompany.com. Go sign up today. Well, we head to the third inning here, Lexington Miller, and there's a rematch of last year's Instant Classic. Miller was able to steal another one off AC Flora last night as the Falcons' comeback bid was shut down in the final hour. Now Miller trying to go 2 for 2 against their old foes today. They lead at 2-1 over the Wildcats of Lexington here in the top of the third. It's Coleman leading it off. The heart of the Lexington order, 2-3-4 due up this inning. Wade back out there. The sophomore deals a fastball inside for ball 1. Coleman had a soft line out to Connor Lockhart, who had a nice job stabbing it. It wasn't the hardest hit ball, but it was well struck, the 1-0. Fastball low for strike 1 in the zone.
What's the pitcher's name?
Drew Wade.
Drew Wade.
Sophomore. 1-1. Breaking ball that misses wide, ball 2. Freshman? Thank you. 2-1. Fastball runs in tight, ball 3. 3-1 the count, nobody gone here in the top of the third. Well, this was more impressive. I saw somewhere Dorsey was a sophomore. He's a freshman, actually. The only freshman playing in today's game. Well, on the Miller side, Lexington has a couple. The 3-1. Fastball wide. A 5-pitch walk to lead off the inning. Yeah, I try to do all these working for these teams, and I guess I must have saw somewhere a sophomore. I guess for whatever reason, I thought I went through Miller and updated that. That's my mistake. I apologize. The leadoff man's aboard is Graham Coleman. Now it's Jackson Kuiper. He had a single back in the first inning. Runner on base this time for him. First pitch, that one's grounded over to third by over the glove of Tomlinson in the left field. Gonna be digging around second. Coming to third is Coleman. The throw into third is in time. Testing, no, they're gonna say he got around the tag. The throw beat Coleman. The tag looked good, but Coleman made an epic slide. Kuiper will take second, and Lexington has the threat brewing now in the third.
Number 2, Cross George.
Well, Noah Gray has an exceptional arm out there in left field. Came up firing. That throw was well in time. But a nice job from Coleman to slide around the tag. Well, it's the fourth hit of the game for the Wildcats. Nobody gone now for Cross George, the hero of yesterday. The first pitch to the right-hander is swung through and missed. A changeup low. George had a 3-run blast to walk off Indian in that epic game between the Warriors and Wildcats. He'll call time now. The right-hander winds and deals the 0-1. Breaking ball called, strike 2 on the outside edge. After back-to-back base runners, Drew Wade ahead, 0-2. Now stepping off is Wade. Some action over there in the Wildcat bullpen. No one hot in the Miller bullpen. The 0-2 is his fastball spiked. Great job from Peck. He has been excellent defensively this tournament. And he will call time here. Infield is in for the Miller School in the third inning. Trying to cut down will be the tying run of this game. Looks like it's Brady Azaria warming up for the Wildcats. That's the 1-2 on the way. Fastball, that one's laced into center field, coming on is Brauman. It will drop for a base knock. One will score. They will hold Kuiper at third. It's an RBI single for Cross George, and we are tied at 2. Three straight hits now, or 3 straight base runners rather. 2 straight hits for the Wildcats. Hard to the order. Ties this game at 2, and there's still nobody gone for Alan Hegler. He had a fly out to the center fielder, Mandela Brown, in his first go-around. Now, how does Hegler go? He's 308 so far in his sophomore campaign. The right-hander awaits. The first pitch is fouled back. It's 0-1. Hegler has had an incredible tournament. 3 for now 6. 2 homers, a double, and 4 RBIs. Lexington trying to ride a hot end of the game yesterday. They're tied 2-2 here. The 0-1. Wade, fastball just misses wide, ball 1. 1 in, 1 the count, nobody gone. Runners at the corners for the Wildcats in a 2-2 ball game here in the top of the third. Wade kicks and deals the 1-1. That one's lifted into left center field. Brauman ranging back toward the track. He puts his hand on the wall and makes the one-handed grab for the first out of the inning. A strong throw into home will not be made. And a sacrifice fly for Alan Hegler that brings Brauman back to the wall, gives the Miller School their first deficit of this game. Lexington takes a 3-2 lead.
Now batting number 20, Jones Bell.
Another long fly out to the center fielder. This time it produces a run. Miller takes their first, or excuse me, Lexington takes their first lead of the game. I don't know why I keep saying that. I'm tired. Hopefully tomorrow it'll be a little easier. Right on right, it's Jones Bell with 1 away. First pitch, that one's flown into center field. This one, though, not as well struck as the last one. Brauman will move 1 step in and make the one-handed grab for out number 2.
Stepping in the box, number 15, Lawson Humans.
So now Lawson Humans will dig in. He struck out looking his last time around against Wade. Bell retired for the first time today. He had a single and scored a run last inning. Left-handed bat now for Humans. The right-handed Wade kicks and deals. First pitch swung through and missed. A curveball. We'll say Lexington's starting to see it well here. 5 hits now through their first time in a round and a half through the order. Now the bottom of the order trying to produce. This was the spark they had in the 7th inning yesterday. The 0-1 is hit the other way and smacked foul down that left field line out of play. It's 0-2. Due up for the Mavericks is the heart of the order. It's Chef, Wagner, and Gray in the bottom half of the inning. So far, Miller has put up a run in every inning. They now find themselves in a deficit. Throw back to first on the walk is not in time. Those are probably my favorite pickoff moves to watch on the walk. You know, really cool to see the hitter have to, not like the batter runner, not like scramble, but they're like, oh crap, I need to get back quick. The 0-2. Fastball up around the letters, ball 1. Of course, on deck after this one, a spot in the 3rd place game on the line. Airport and Dormant will meet. And then the nightcap, AC Flora hosting Indian Land. That will figure out who will play in the championship tomorrow. The 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Does he go? Humans says no. Did he go? And the home plate umpire says no, he didn't. Drew Wade thought he got him swinging. Instead, it'll be ball 2 and a breaking ball in the dirt. Peck, of course, I feel like I say it every time. He's able to down that one and not let it go to the backstop. The 1-2, or 2-2, excuse me. High and away, ball 3. Yeah, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away here in the top of the 3rd. The runner at first will be in motion. Lawson Humans versus Drew Wade. Cross George still at first. The payoff on the way. That one's softly lifted out to left center field. Coming on is Noah Gray, the left fielder, will not make the catch. It's the center fielder, Browman, who comes in and grabs it in behind him. I think Gray and Browman had great communication out there. Looked like Gray was going to go for it. Browman calls him off and makes the one-handed stab to end the inning, but Lexington responds. A 3-2 lead for the Wildcats going to the bottom of the 3rd. Welcome back to Falcon Field. It's the 2026 rendition here between Lexington and Miller. They had an epic game last year where Miller came away victorious. Miller now finds himself in a 3-2 deficit here against the Wildcats. Entering the bottom of the 3rd, it's the heart of the order. Leading off, John Michael Sheff, who is square on a bunt. That's right in front of home plate. The catcher, Laney, gloves it. The throw to first is not in time. And for the now 2nd time today, Miller bunts for a single to start off the inning. Last time it was Mandela Browman bunting. This time it's John Michael Sheff. The 2 big D1 commits. Put it down with the best of them, and right there, get the inning going for the Miller School. It's still Jake Epps at the hill. Of course, there is some action over there in the Wildcat bullpen. We'll see if they have to use anyone. First pitch to the left-handed Wagner is an off-speed away, ball 1. Well, I figured out the problem, what I missed. On Max Preps, Dorsey is listed as a sophomore on the official roster I was given. He was listed as a freshman, but I don't get that roster until Monday, so I should have looked over that. That's my fault. I apologize. The 1-0, runner goes, and it's popped into the air in the infield left side. Graham Coleman, the shortstop, has a read, and he'll make the one-handed grab. Luckily for Sheff, it hung up in the air way too long for Lexington to do anything with it, except get the out.
Now batting number 1, Noah Gray.
So now 1 on, 1 away here for Noah Gray. The right-handed left fielder has a single so far today. He was technically out on the base pass. He was the victim of the fielder's choice that ended the first inning. Now the Eastern Carolina commit digs in, right on, right, 1 out. First pitch from Epps. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. Well, you know, Epps was acting as an opener against AC Flora. Now he's working what will be his 5th inning of the tournament if he gets through it. This is how pitching is a premium here at the Forest Acres Classic. A lot of arms to use. The 1-0. Runner goes, the pitch is high, ball 1, ball 2, throw into second will not be made as Laney couldn't get out of the glove. It's a stolen bag for John Michael Sheff. Of course, the most chinnable name I think in the tournament, John Michael Sheff. Noah does it a lot. And now can Noah Gray hit John Michael Sheff home. 2-0 count, 1 out, runner at second. The pitch. Curveball high and in, ball 3. You know, what surprised me every year is how just fundamentally sound Miller is. Last inning, it could have been catastrophic between Brauman and Gray running full speed each other in left center field, and it looks like Gray curved off the end, and Brauman called him off. Now can Gray find his way on the base pass here with 1 away. The 3-0. Fastball in tight. A 4-pitch walk to the left fielder.
Up next, number 7, Connor Lockhart.
Well, Connor Lockhart now at the dish. Grounded into the ending fielder's choice back in the first. However, he has had an exceptional Forest Acres Classic and an exceptional sophomore campaign, hitting .347 over 49 at-bats. Now Coach Faulkner will come out and talk to Epps the first time he's made an appearance today. We'll be right back here on Definite Fiction. Welcome back to Falcon Field. Jake Epps' day is done. 2 1/3 inning pitch, 33 pitches for Epps. A successful start. Now we'll turn it over to Brady Azaria. The southpaw will get Connor Lockhart. The first pitch Lockhart sees is a fastball spiked in the dirt. Great jump from Sheff at second. He'll stroll into third, and Gray will go right along with him. He'll go to second. So Lazaria actually did pitch against these Wildcats last year. He technically recorded the loss, or he pitched against the Mavericks last year. He recorded the loss against the Miller School after Ronald Carlson gave him a chance early. Miller School was the one who responded. The 1-0 curveball misses, I guess, a little wide and low to the right-hander. It's ball 2. Sun is now out at Forest Acres. Took me a couple hours before I was able to shed my puffer. Now, it's pretty warm here. Should get to around the mid-60s today. Southpaw behind 2-0. He fires. The fastball called. Strike 1 on the outside edge. Lazaria making now his 6th appearance of the season. 4th start, a 3.09 ERA. Miller has the tying and go-ahead runners on the base pass with 1 away. The 2-1 is tapped to the left side of the infield. It will call foul. The third base umpire yelling that immediately. As John Michael Sheff, representing the tying run of the game, was coming home. Instead, you'll have to go back. It'll be a 2-2 count. Well, it's Rosales waiting in the hole, on deck, and then in the hole, it's going to be Cody Peck if it gets that far. They were looking for a big inning. The third inning was their big one against the Falcons last night. They put 3 runs across, and that was enough to propel them to the 6-3 win. 2-2 the count, 1 away here, bottom 3. Azaria will wind and deal the pitch. Curveball swung through and missed. Strikeout swinging. That's a big punch out for Azaria. It's his now 27th strikeout of his season. And there's now 2 away here for the Miller School. Can Jackson Rosales keep it going? Right hand versus southpaw. Rosales reached on the air his first go around. First pitch to Rosales is flared over to the right side, and it will go in foul ground. 0-1. Rosales has hit some well-struck balls so far in the last 2 days. The stat sheet won't show it though. He's technically 0 for his last 5, but does that really tell you the whole story of how someone's hitting the ball? The 0-1. Breaking ball called. Strike 2. Well, he actually was 1 for 4 yesterday. They went back and changed that, what was ruled as an error on the field, to a hit. I agree with what, to be fair. I think they both could have easily been a hit. Azaria, 1 pitch away, the 0-2. Breaking ball swung through and missed. Azaria strikes out his 2 batters and gets out of the frame. Well, Lexington, for the first time, will end an inning with a lead against the Miller School in the last 2 years. They lead it 3-2 going to the 4th. Welcome back to Falcon Field. Lexington Miller, round 2. And it's game number 10 here. Or, yeah, 10. Wow. It feels like it's been longer. Game number 10 of the Forest Acres Classic here in 2026. These 2 teams fighting to play for tomorrow. The Miller School in Lexington, 3-2 lead for the Wildcats. They'll bring 8-9-1 here in the 4th with a 1-run lead. Right-handed Drew Wade will work the first pitch. Delaney high in for ball 1. Laney technically 0 for 1. He reached off an error last time and ended up scoring Jones Bell. The 1-0. Fastball is spiked. Ball 2. Well, it's Laney, Watts, and Spivey. The Miller School. You know, these guys are dominant in this tournament. They have owned it the last 2 years. The 2-0. Swung through and missed. A low heater. It's 2-1. They're having to fight for everything this year, and that just shows you how talented this Classic is this year. Everyone fighting for spots on Thursday. The 2-1. Fastball wide. Ball 3. 3-1 the count now to open here in the top of the 4th. I mean, I think River Bluff is the best 0-2 team I've ever seen coming into a Wednesday game. The 3-1. Fastball swung through and missed, low in the zone. It's 3-2. Will bring up a full count. And River Bluff, of course, got the win against Coach Philip Peck and his T.C. Robertson Rams. He's actually sitting over there, still with his pen and clipboard in hand. The payoff on the way. Fastball is tapped down the first base line in fair territory. The pitcher, Wade, has it. He'll make the easy flip to first for out number 1. Well, Laney, defensive swing, put it in play. I don't think he meant to put it in play. I think he just wanted to foul it off, but it will work for out number 1. Well, now it's the young freshman Hamp Watts last time who reached on an infield single over to the shortstop, John Michael Sheff. Watts tapped a ball, a high chopper over Wade's head that died on the infield grass. Sheff made a great play on it, but couldn't throw off the speedy freshman. He'll try to flip the lineup over as the top of the lineup looms on deck. It's Christian Spivey, still in search of his second hit of the tournament. The first pitch in this right-handed showdown is a chopper to the left side over the head of Tomlinson, the third baseman, for a base knock. Hamp Watts and his choppers, that one works. And a one-out single is aboard. Well, Hamp Watts, who came into today 0 for his last 5 here in the Classic, is now 2 for 2. That just shows you how good baseball is. And now it's Christian Spivey, the South Carolina commit. He's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to the right fielder, Rosales. Rosales made a dive and grab last time around. Can you do it here? Southpaw digs in the first pitch. Curveball called, strike 1. Freezing Spivey. I don't think Spivey was expecting that. He's seen a diet of heaters on the outside edge. The right-hander kicks and deals the 0-1. Breaking ball wide, ball 1. Well, this is the interesting part for every single pitcher. It's the 3rd time through the order. Second time has been a bit disastrous here or there. It's the 3rd time where some pitchers have really gotten hit hard. Can Drew Wade break that trend right now? The 1-1. Fastball wide, ball 2. Throw on a second. It's a snap back that's not in time. Watts guys back in safely. I mean, I'm always impressed about the catchers here. That's the one, I think, in my opinion, the hardest position to play on the diamond. But Cody Peck with a bullet down to the first base side. He's been exceptionally well in this tournament. If there was an all-defensive team, he'd be on it. Sure, I can make that. Talk to Coach Howard about it. Just let me do it. 2-1, the pitch. Fastball low and away, ball 3. So after a first pitch curveball, Spivey's watched 3 straight go by. He's a patient hitter. 535 on base percentage compared to a 355 average. 11 walks on the season. The payoff, 3-1 on the way, is snubbed over to the shortstop, Sheff. On the ground, 2-1. Dorsey will turn it. The freshman cannot get there in time. Spivey able to beat it out. Looks like Spivey, I think Spivey just wants to get a hit, and I don't blame him. He's seen a diet of everything on the outside edge. Rolls over that one to Sheff, who almost able to turn it.
Now batting number 6, Graham Coleman.
So now there's 2 away for Graham Coleman. First time Spivey's on base with the fielder's choice. Watts thrown out trying to go to second. And now it's Coleman, who's 0 for 1 with a walk and a lineout. The first pitch to him, curveball, strike 1 on the outside edge. Well, that's the first thing we've seen Wade Moore throw the heater today. Now he's been great in the last 2 batters. First pitch curveballs. The 0-1. That fastball is tapped to the left side, and we're going to call it foul. It must have, I believe, hit the batter. So it's quickly 0-2 here. Well, Miller put 1 across in the bottom of the first. Lexington responded on the top of the second with 1 of their own. Miller then retook the lead in the bottom of the second before Lexington put 2 across in the top of the third. That's where we have our 3-2 game right now here in the top of the 4th. Lexington has 1 on and 2 away. It's Spivey at first, who, right on cue, dives back in safely after a pickoff from Drew Wade. We're here on the top of the fourth. 0-2 count to Graham Coleman, 2 away. Miller trying to get back to the dugout, get that talented lineup back at the plate. The 0-2. Breaking ball in the left-handed box. Almost got Coleman to bite. He's able to keep the bat on the shoulder, and it's now 1-2. Well, if it gets that far, Jackson Kuiper waits on deck before Cross George in the hole. Lexington trying to get the heart of their order up with runners on. The 1-2. Breaking ball. That one's lifted out to right center field. Going to be a long run for Brauman and Rosales. It's Brauman who runs it down in the right center field gap to retire the side. Well, he'd be in the all defensive team as well. He's been running down everything out there in center field. Miller trails by 1. They'll bring the bats up in the bottom of the fourth. We are back here in beautiful Forest Acres, South Carolina. Sun is out here on this Wednesday early afternoon. It's just about to be 2 o'clock and a 65-degree day in the Midlands. A little windy, of course. It's been one of the stories of this tournament. Windy in the stratosphere. Be a 8-9-1. It'll be a 8-9-1 due up here for the Miller School here in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch chopped foul. It's Cody Peck, Will Tomlinson, and Mandela Brauman here for the Miller School. Can they push some runs across? It was Brady Azaria coming on in relief of Jake Epps, who got 2 big strikeouts to keep 2 on the bags for Miller. The 0-1. Fastball low, ball 1. And if you go back to Monday, that was the story for the Miller School. Liam Roberson was able to work in and out of trouble. The 5A pitcher of the year last year said he didn't have his best stuff. I don't really believe him. I don't know if I do. The 1-1 tapped foul. It's 1-2. He was able to blank this Miller lineup after Miller had, God, I believe it was 10 people on base against Roberson. And they just couldn't push any runners across. The 1-2. Curveball away, ball 2. Great eye from Peck that almost dipped into the zone late. But he did a good job to keep the bat on the shoulder. Of course, Miller exploded last night for 6 runs off of 9 hits against AC Flora. They have 2 off of 5 so far today. 2-2 curveball is just tapped back right to the pitcher. Razaria can't field it. It took a weird hop with some spin on it. So that'd be an error. It wasn't fielded at all by anyone, and it will be an infield single for Cody Peck. His second single of the day, a just weird swinging bunt. Well, you know, this is how this game's gone. You have some really hard contact so far today. Find the glove of a couple outfielders for both sides. And then now, but probably the weakest hit ball of the day. It's going to be an infield single. Tying run aboard now. It's the 9-hole Will Tomlinson. These are the dangerous innings for teams if the bottom rower can get up for the top. Southpaw will deal to the right-hander. Showing bunt is Tomlinson, who watches strike 1 hit the top of the zone. He pulls it back, and it looks like it was a just high fastball. A couple Falcons still here watching this game with great intent. Their championship hopes rest on a Lexington win today. The 0-1. Bunt show from Tomlinson. He can't square it around. He misses. It's 0-2. Again, quickly around what needs to happen. For everyone, of course, needs to win, and then Miller needs Flora to win. Flora needs Lexington to win. Lexington needs Indian Land to win, and Indian Land needs Miller to win. Simple. 0-2. Tomlinson bunting again. That ball's popped in the air. Spivey will make the grab and heads up base running from Peck. Doesn't get too far from the first base bag. It's going to be a pop out to the third baseman for out number 1.
Now batting number 24, Mandela Brauman.
So now Mandela Brownman up for the third time today. Well, I talked about Spivey being dangerous. This is now dangerous for the third time through the order. However, it's the first time he's facing Azaria. How will this battle go? The right-hander waits the first pitch. Change him upstairs, ball one. Of course, Brownman faced him last year. That was over a year away. He was 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk in last year's game with the Lexington Wildcats. Keep mixing them up, I guess. It's probably because Miller's wearing black and, you know, even though, of course, it's not Lexington blue, Miller's wearing blue. So Lexington black, Miller blue, you feel like you switched. That's my excuse. We can work with it. Peck over at first. 20 and oh. He's still running. Usually, maybe actually not be Peck. It is actually a courtesy runner. I just didn't see him check into the game. Yeah, usually, Coach Wagner's pretty quick to pull the trigger on his courtesy runners. That is number 5, Peyton Porter. 20 and oh on the way. Fastball that's topped over right to the right side. Going to be a long run for Kuiper. The right fielder will have room to make the grab for out number 1. Weak contact and not top, but popped.
Up next, number 13, Jay
Now 2 away. Brownman, for the first time today, has a non-productive at bat. He's singled on a bunt single and had a long sacrifice fly to center in his 2 plate appearances thus far. He's retired to the dugout without producing a hit or an out, or a RBI, and now it's Jay Dorsey. The only freshman in this lineup today. He's 1 for 2 with a flyout and a single thus far. Southpaw versus the righty. Azaria will kick and deal. The first pitch, fastball misses inside for ball 1. Dorsey got brought off the plate just a tad. Just had the arms up to make sure it was a ball. It's a great baseball day yet again. We've been blessed with 3 straight days so far. The 1-0. Fastball called, strike 1 on the outside edge. It's 1-1. Of course, forecast projected no rain this week. High 60s, low 70s. A little breezy. I mean, this is about as good as you can ask for here at the Classic. The 1-1 from Azaria. That one's lined the other way. That will be a second hit for Dorsey today. It'll fall into right field for a base knock. Kuiper gets it in quickly. Well, that puts runners at first and second for the hardest out today so far, John Michael Sheff.
Up next, number 4, John Michael Sheff.
He's 1 for 1 with a single. He's also produced a sacrifice fly. Him and Brownman producing the same amount of run support today. Azaria got a big 2 strikeouts when he came in. Now he'll get a lefty-on-lefty matchup with the Virginia Tech commit, John Michael Sheff. Azaria with his light blue glove comes home. The first pitch is a curveball low for ball 1. Well, last time we saw Sheff, he was committed to Louisiana Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns. I got to throw that in there. I love saying Raging Cajun. Now he's going to be a future Hokie. Staying a little closer to home, I believe. Azaria kicks and deals the 1-0. Breaking ball called, strike 1, slotted in on the lower inner third. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Miller trailing by a run. It's a 3-2 lead for Lexington, but the Mavericks have a runner at first and second with 2 away for John Michael Sheff. Winding and dealing, Azaria the pitch is topped over to the right side. Allegler, the first baseman has to race Sheff to the bag, and he does win the foot race. No 2-out rally this time. It's a unassisted 3 put out to end the 4th. We'll head to the 5th in a 1-run ball game when we come back. little late getting back, but welcome back here to Falcon Field. We're here in the top of the fifth, a one-run ball game, but who was ever going to doubt this was going to be a good one? Miller Lexington, round two. The 1-0 is a grounder through the left side of the infield, and Kuiper, another single for him. He's been excellent today. It's his third hit of the day. And the leadoff man aboard for the Wildcats here to begin the fifth.
Up next, number 2, Cross George.
Well, double and 2 singles now for the 3-hole Jackson Kuiper. Now be Cross George, who had an RBI single his last go around. Still is Drew Wade out there, trying to navigate through another inning here for Lexington. I mean, these Wildcats looked dead in the water yesterday going to 7. They were trailing by 6 runs, and all of a sudden, the offensive explosion. They're swinging a hot bat. 7 hits against a very talented Drew Wade. Right on right, first pitch. Low, ball 1 to Cross George. Of course, say it about probably every time it comes up. Cross smacked that 3-run walk-off blast. One of the 4 walk-offs here at the Classic. The 1-0. That one's topped over to the left side and foul. Be 1-1. Flora walked off these Wildcats just the night before. Lexington comes back from behind, walks off Indian Land. And then River Bluff Gators have been on the receiving end of 2 heartbreakers. A walk-off double for the Dorman Cavaliers and Austin Rath, and a walk-off wild pitch against Airport. The 1-1 is a fastball low, ball 2. And you know, we were talking, me and Jeff, I believe every single game, the tying run has come up to the plate in the 7th, all for except for 1. And that was the first game where T.C. Robertson was able to knock off Dorman. Runner goes 2-1, pitches high, thrown to the second, not in time. The first thrower, Peck, throws off line. That's a stolen bag for Jackson Kuiper. Well, he sure-handed. Excuse me, I just completely messed the buttons. Sure-handed catcher threw it behind Dorsey. So a nice job for Kuiper to steal the bag. Looked like if he could jump anyway, it would have been a very close play. Peck has, I believe, gunned down 3 runners in the Indian Land game on Monday. Now 3-1 the count. Nobody gone, the pitch. Fastball low in the zone, called strike 2. It'll be a full count now to the cleanup hitter Cross George. Waiting on deck is Hegler, and then after him, if it gets that far, it's Jones Bell. Still a lot of Falcons intently watching this one. Their tournament depends on what happens here. The payoff. That's a hot shot to the third baseman. Tomlinson gloves it. Will look back the runner at second and make the strong throw across the diamond for out number 1. Sharply hit ball. The third baseman makes it look routine for the first out of the inning. Of course, I don't see much action from Indian Land here so far.
4, Alan Hegler.
I'm not sure if they're actually staying down here or not. I believe they are. I believe every team, except for, of course, the teams that are around here, so Airport, Lexington, River Bluff. So the 3 teams that have to travel, I'm pretty sure they stay down here. I guess 4. Of course, I know Miller stays down here. I know Robertson stays down here. I'm pretty sure Dorman does as well as Indian Land. Well, right on right, Alan Hegler, 1 away, runner at second. First pitch, Jones, a fastball up, called strike 1. Top of the zone, up in the top of the zone. Again, there's some action now in the Miller bullpen for the first time today. The Mavericks needing a win here to play tomorrow. The loser's eliminated. The winner will play tomorrow. They just got to figure out what game they'll play in. Of course, they will not know their opponent for the second one. The only team that's solidified a spot for tomorrow is T.C. Robertson. They'll play in the championship game. The next game, Dorman Airport, will decide the third place matchup from the other side of the bracket. And then the winner of this game, either Miller or Lexington, will wait the nightcap to see who's in the championship tomorrow. The 0-1 to Hegler is a pop fly into shallow left center field. Long run from 3, but it's Brauman who will call everyone off and make the grab. That ball started in the left center field and then trailed towards Brauman in center. There's now 2 away. Well, Hegler and Brauman are becoming very familiar with each other. It's the 3rd time swing from Hegler has found the glove of Brauman. It'll now be Jones Bell up for the 3rd time today. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out. The shift applied to Bell. Shifted heavily to the left side of the infield. First pitch is popped into the air to the right side of the shallow outfield. It's Rosales who will immediately call off the second baseman. And he makes the 2-handed grab to retire the side. Well, after a hot start, some zeros have gone on the scoreboard. Can Miller break that trend? We'll head see in the bottom of the fifth. We are back here in beautiful Forest Acres, South Carolina, the premier spring break tournament of the summer, of the week. I mean, it's gorgeous. Gosh, beautiful weather here today. I'm about to shed my jacket. Sun's starting to heat up. And of course, another great game of baseball in front of us. Miller and Lexington. It'll be the heart of the order, 4, 5, 6. Wagner due up, sunglasses out, watches the first pitch curveball stay away, ball one. Rare lefty on lefty matchup for Wagner. He's now been DHing the last 2 days after getting the start in the hill on Monday, the 1-0. Curveball, misses inside, ball two. Azaria came on in relief of Jacobs, struck out his first two batters, and then navigated through a treacherous fourth inning. Now he's in the fifth, the 2-0. That one's lined in the left center field gap, coming on his cross, George, and he will lose his cap, but make the one-handed grab for out number one. Well, unless you put one in the corner, it feels like these outfielders are going to run every single thing down. It's the first out here in the fifth. Wagner now retired for the third time today. He'll flip it over to Noah Gray, who's reached base twice. Coach Bradwell in the house for Airport. Number one, Noah Gray. First pitch low, ball one, a fastball. Coach Bradwell and Coach Jolly will be here later today for their third place potential shoo-in, figure out who's going to play in the third place game. The 1-0 fastball's low, ball two. That game's on deck. First pitch slated for 4 o'clock that day in the nightcap, EC Flora and Indian Land. Big crowd around here, a great crowd for Miller and Lexington, the 2-0. That one's hammered to deep left field. George going back towards the wall. He looks up and it's gone. Noah Gray ties this game at 3. In the Miller School, I believe that's their first home run of the tournament here in Forest Acres in 2026.
Home run, number one, Noah Gray.
It doesn't take long, does it? Noah Gray ties this game at 3. Puts a jolt into a ball to left field. His first homer of the season. He didn't have one all of last year either, but sends that one over the left field wall. And now it's Connor Lockhart. Nobody on, one away. Azaria comes back, first pitch, and it's tapped foul. Well, you know, you would think it would have been the last one, but this is now the start of the second time through the order here for Azaria. Well, again, I don't know what you expected, but you better expect a good one. Lexington Miller, 3-all here in the bottom of the fifth. The 0-1. He went around, yes he did on the curveball, strike two. Well, Azaria, it's always interesting to see how a pitcher responds after giving up a homer. 2 straight strikes here to open the at-bat to the right-handed first baseman. Miller trying to get their first baseman at the 0-2. Is fouled off back the curveball. Lockhart's 0 for 2 today. He went down swinging against Azaria's first time seeing him. Now it's number 2 time through the order. This is where the Falcons really started doing their damage when they faced Ryder Carlson in the same situation. As an opener, Jacobs, and then they faced Carlson, did their damage in the fifth. The 0-2, swung through and missed. A fastball foul tipped in the glove. That's the third strikeout for Azaria at out number 2 here in the fifth.
Number 27, Jackson Rosales.
AC Flora had the same kind of look Miller did. put the opener for a couple innings, then you face this longer guy. It was the exact same situation, Epps coming in, doing the job. And then all of a sudden, you get the long guy. Falcons tacked on 4 in the 5th. So far, Miller's tacked on 1. Be no one on with 2 away for Jackson Rosales, who watches a fastball spiked into the ground for ball 1. Rosales reached on an air and struck out swinging so far. He was the second man to face Azaria back in the 3rd. The 1-0. Change up, low and away, ball 2. We saw Drew Wade, 3rd time through the order, started throwing a lot of off speed. Azaria now his 2nd time through the order. How does he manage this Miller lineup? The 2-0. Fastball wide, ball 3. Well, first base is open, but it's Cody Peck, who is 2 for 2 on the day, standing in the on-deck circle. Back and forth this one goes. Azaria will wind and deal, the 3-0. Called strike 1. Fastball hits the inside 3rd of the zone. A good group of Falcons to the left and behind me. All of them figuring out where they're going to play tomorrow. If they do, they got to win tonight, of course. The 3-1 on the way. It's popped into the air, right side and foul ground. Hegler, the first baseman, has a read. He's not going to drift back onto the infield dirt and make the grab. And Rosales pops out to the first baseman, and that will end the inning. But Noah Gray ties it up. A solo shot to left. And we'll head to the back half when we come back. Welcome back to Falcon Field. Drew Way is being relieved. It'll be number 00, Leo Cafario.
Leading off for Lexington, number 15.
Leo making his 2nd appearance of the season. He's pitched a scrolling 2 outs of baseball. He's now called on relief here, and I always love seeing Coach Wagner go to the bullpen. He's got one of the most talented in the Classic. Cafario gets the bottom half of the order, 7-8-9, Humans Laney Watts. With the right-hander versus the left-hander to lead off. First pitch. It was tapped over to the right side. The second baseman Dorsey gloves it in the hole. The strong throw to first is in time. 1 pitch, 1 away. It's game number 10 here in the Forest Acres Classic. Wind coming in and out here and there. 3-all ball game between the Miller School and Lexington. A spot and a Thursday showcase is on the line here, and a potential chance at a championship appearance. To wait to the nightcap to figure out if it is or not. Right on right, first pitch. Laney stays Backs off the plate, but I think that was just because of how good of a slider that was. It's strike one. I was going to say he stays away, but that slider dipped into the zone late. Some action over there in the bullpen for the Wildcats. The 0-1 is tapped foul. Quickly 0-2. 3 straight strikes for Cafarillo. Remember, his brother was the catcher here for the Miller School 2 years ago. He was part of that 11-inning showcase between Miller and AC Flora. Now his brother ahead, 0-2 here over Laney. The pitch. Changeup must have missed a little away, ball one. Cy Martin righty throws his first ball of his outing. He gets Laney, who is 0 for 2, reached off an air and a ground out to the pitcher in his 2 plate appearances. Cafarillo winds and deals, the 1-2. That one not as close as the last. A fastball wide, it's 2-2. I'm going to have to probably put some sunscreen on yet again. The exact same thing that happened yesterday. And around this game, it starts getting pretty hot, and I have to start, actually applying sunscreen so I don't get burnt to a crisp. 2's on the way. Slider stays wide. Laney works the count full. 3-2, 1 away here in the top of the 6th. No one's on, but Lexington trying to set the table for the top of the order. It's the bottom half. The 8-hole catching David Laney. Can he come in the clutch here? Get the go-ahead runner on the base pass. The payoff on the way. High and in, ball 4. Laney works back from 0-2 and draws the 1-out walk.
Now batting number 28, Hamp Watts.
Well, now it's Hamp Watts back up, who had 2 chop singles here today.
Courtesy runner number 25, Victor Kaczynski.
So that's actually Victor Kaczynski running. Now a courtesy runner at first for Laney. Kaczynski pitched him some very valuable innings yesterday. Saved some of these arms for today. Now right on right. Runner at first, Kaczynski. First pitch home. Watts takes a slider away for ball 1. It's always hard to tell if it's a cutter or a slider. I believe it's a slider. It's got a little vertical movement, but those are the hardest pitches for me to see here when I'm a little offset. The 1-0. Another pitch in the left-handed box. Nice backhand from Peck. Keeps Kaczynski close to the bag at first. You got a big secondary lead. Peck is known for those strong throws. Keep an eye out, potentially a snap back to first. He's done it already once today. And Kaczynski getting a massive lead over at first. Doesn't go, the 2-0. In the other box, and it skips away from Peck. He can't backhand this one. So the go-ahead run moves into scoring position off of the wild pitch. It's a 3-0 count. So 3 balls, no strikes, 1 away. It's a 3-3 ball game between the Wildcats and the Mavericks. And the go-ahead runner standing at second. Right on right, Hamp Watts trying to turn the lineup over as Christian Spivey awaits on deck. The 3-0. Breaking ball that hits Hamp Watts. He'll launch the bat, and he'll hand it over to the South Carolina commit.
Now batting number 5, Christian Spivey.
And this will now bring Coach Wagner and immediately will call to the bullpen. Cafarillo gets 1 out, but to face Spivey, we'll get a new pitcher. We'll be right back here. We return. Well, while there's a call to the bullpen, I want to thank our sponsors yet again here on Definite Fiction. Yet for the 3rd straight classic, we have our same sponsors.
Number 20, Nathan Duncan.
I needed to hear that one, I made sure I got that one right. Nathan Duncan coming in to pitch, but while we wait for him to warm up, let's thank our sponsors. First of all, the Big Red Box Office Company, an all-inclusive private waste disposal company. They'll deliver to residential driveways, construction sites, wherever you need them to. All you need to do, you order a dumpster, they'll take it to you, you fill it up, and they'll take it away. It's just that simple and easy. Book a dumpster, call 783-6834 to book a dumpster, or go to www.bigredboxdumpstercompany.com. We want a special thank you to them for sponsoring the Definite Fiction live stream here at the Forest Acres Classic, and of course, the Definite Fiction live streams all school year here for AC Flora. They've been a blessing to have here on our live stream. You know, Coach Dorsey cares so much about this community. I get ahead of myself just talking about him, but he cares so much about his community, cares about these young men, and he cares about this classic. He's somewhere here running around intently watching, and of course, in his night job, he coaches the 2-1-5. A lot of these Falcons you saw in Definite Fiction the last 2 days for both these teams, they're playing Legion ball. You should play Legion too. The most competitive and the easiest summer league program the state has to offer. It's free, and you get to face some of the best competition. I know a lot of the Falcons are playing Legion. Tyler is playing Legion. Sam is playing Legion. I believe Dylan's going to try to play a little Legion here and there. Maybe Charlie. I know Roper's going to play Legion. A bunch of great Legion players come from this AC Flora family. Go to sclegion.com and find for your local Legion team today. I know a lot of Lexington Wildcats played Legion last summer. Well, here we go. I'll turn off the background music. Trouble brewing. Of course, it wouldn't be a Forest Acres Classic game without some fun now, would it? Entering the game, number 20, Nathan Duncan. Duncan making his third appearance of the season. 1 earned run over 2 innings pitched. Cafferio got 1 out, but then she was a walk and hit the next 2 batters. Now the lengthy southpaw will come on in a lefty-lefty showcase here against Spivey. First pitch on the way. Fastball right down the heart of the plate, strike 1. Of course, Wagner going to the matchups here. Lefty on lefty usually bodes well for the pitcher. It's a little harder to see out of the hand for the hitter, and is not as, doesn't happen as much. You don't see this matchup a ton. The 0-1. Breaking ball in the right-handed box. Ball 1, 1-1. Of course, there's Coach Dorsey right there. Remember, you were supposed to come join me yesterday for a couple innings of the Miller game last night, and I asked him after the game, I said, Coach, why did you come on? He said, well, I was too into the game, man. He said, I'm such a fan. Like, I'm into every single one of these games. I mean, he and me both, but see if he comes and hangs out tonight. If he's way too into the one tonight. The 1-1. Fastball low and away, ball 2 to Spivey. Well, Spivey extended the last time. Regrounded into the fielder's choice. Don't expect him to do it that much. He's a patient hitter, but I think he's getting a little unwary. He's just not been given many pitches to hit. Shows you how talented he is. For Allen for Miller, the same exact way. He's in center. He'll be due up next inning. The 2-1. Fastball is popped in the air left side out of play. Spivey missed an elevated heater. It'll be 2-2. Of course, Brauman and Spivey, the leadoff hitters for their respective lineups, and shockingly, teams are pitching around them. A southpaw looking for a big out here on the hill. Duncan will kick and deal the 2s. Breaking ball, breaks it away, and Spivey lays off. A nice hold off. That one looked good until it didn't. So a 3-2 count, 1 away. Kaczynski on second. Hamp Watts on first. Speed on the base pass for the Lexington Wildcats as they are tied with Miller. 3-all, top 6. The payoff to Spivey. Fastball, that one's lined right at the second baseman. Dorsey on the hop, he gloves it. Flips to Chef at 1. The throw into first is in time, and that will retire the side. The 4-6-3 double play. Nathan Duncan fired up going back to the dugout as the Miller School will bring the bottom and the top of the order up, but we come back. Welcome back to Definite Fiction. It is the 20th annual Forest Acres Classic, live in this beautiful early April weekend.
Leading off,
Miller and
number
Lexington giving us another
2,
classic game
Baby
right now. 3-all and going to the bottom of the 6th. Nathan Duncan came on and got a ground out double play to Christian Spivey. Now can the lineup help him out? First pitch as Brady Azaria stays in the game. The southpaw spikes one of there for ball 1. It's Peck, Tomlinson, and Browman due up for Miller here in the 6th. Miller's had some big 6 innings here at the Classics, and they keep it going here. The 1-0. Fastball, that one's driven into right center field. Watts is racing over, and that ball will find the gap and go all the way to the wall. Racing into second is Peck. He will slide into second with a leadoff double. He continues to have a massive Classic and a massive day. 3 for 3. Well, with how these outfields have been playing today, it's been hard to split anybody, but that one finds a way to split Watson, Kuiper in right center field.
Will Tomlinson.
And now it's Will Tomlinson up. Courtesy runner at second base for the catcher. I would imagine Tomlinson, he's already put down 1 bunt today. I'd imagine this will be number 2. Pick off to second and not in time. It's Peyton Porter back in there. He's had 3 stolen bases this season. He represents the go-ahead run of the game. Right on left, southpaw will step off, and he's very wary as Spivey, the third baseman, crashing, and David Laney will come out and talk to his pitcher. Well, this is a big spot here, of course. The leadoff double puts a lot on the table for Miller. Can't remember where we saw it yesterday, but I know someone, brings the corner in almost in what seems to be like an obvious bunt idea, and they try to pull it back and slice one. What is Coach Wagner telling his third baseman? But a couple of bunts popped into the air from this Miller school. One to end the game on Monday, the other one from Dorsey yesterday. I believe the first one was Peck. Or Gray, one or the other. Either way, can Tomlinson do the job here, move that runner 90 feet closer, even put him home? The pitch home, he puts Joe's bunt. It's a fastball wide for ball 1. Well, of course, depending on no matter really what happens, the on-deck circle is the scariest hitter in the lineup. Mandela Browman looms. Throws home. The pitch is popped into the air. The first baseman, Hegler, has to throw in a second. Will not be made. And another bunt popped into the air for the Miller school. Almost popped over to the first baseman. We've had one pop to the third baseman. And just like that, there's a big first out now. But I don't know if it does. I don't know if it gets any easier. Now Mandela Browman. The senior going to Chapel Hill. 1 for 2 with a sac fly, a single, and a fly out today. So he has 2nd time seeing Azaria. Right-hander awaits against the southpaw. The first pitch, that one's hammered to deep left field if it's fair, and it will curve foul. Browman gave that one a ride and just missed it. Coach Faulkner will immediately come out and talk to his pitcher. A hard hit ball, and Browman has had a couple of those this tournament, has yet to really straighten one out this way. It'll be a mound visit here for Coach Faulkner. We'll be right back on Definite Fiction. After a quick mound visit from Coach Faulkner, he'll head back to the dugout, the former Blowfish pitching coach. That's how I met him. And he'll keep Azaria in there. As a hard, loud strike 1, long liner in foul grounds on the left side. Azaria glance at second will fire. The 0-1 to ground it right back up the middle, right to the second baseman. Bell played it perfectly. He delivered the strong throw to first. It's low, but in time. Brown moves the go-ahead run to the third, but there's 2 away.
Now batting number 13, Jay Dorsey.
Well, that's the 2nd time Jones Bell has been playing perfectly up the middle, shading these Miller hitters. Now, can the freshman come up in the clutch? It's Jay Dorsey. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles and a flyout. This has been his best day of the tournament. Can he deliver in the clutch here? Right-hander awaits. The southpaw deals. The first pitch curveball's called. Strike 1. Dorsey came in today hitting .460 with 3 RBIs. Number 4 is 90 feet away, and it's the go-ahead run in a massive game. The 0-1. Breaking ball, called strike 2, lower outside third. Dorsey's like, all right, I got you. I talk about how Brauman does it all the time in the box. Brauman doesn't move and just kind of nods his head. Dorsey doing the exact same thing. He delivered just like his teammate. Then 0-2. Fastball up and away, ball 1. It's a good miss from Azaria and a better take from Dorsey. Those are the pitches, the hardest ones to lay off. That fastball. Dorsey has shot one the other way already today. They're shading him to the left yet again. The 1-2. Breaking ball. That one's tapped over to the first base side. It will go foul. Dangerous one. Hegler let it go foul. Looked like he could have made a play on it in fair territory. But that ball went to the right of the first base bag before he touched it. Of course, that's what makes a foul. So Dorsey will stay alive. 1-2, 2 away. Bottom 6. Go-ahead runner 90 feet away in a 3-3 game. Azaria fires the pitch. Breaking ball that misses way in tight. Ball 2. A little over anxious from the fans on the left. They're looking for a reason to explode. So are the Miller School. Pins and needles, another great game between these two teams. Another great game here in the Forest Acres Classic. Deuces Wild, the pitch. That one's tapped back over the mound. Tough play for Bell. The second baseman gloves it. He can't get out of his glove, and it is in time for an out. Beats him by half a step. No, they're going to change it to safe. The ball came out of his glove. Are you kidding me? Jay Dorsey delivers a very close play at the first base bag.
Next, number 4,
It would have been in time, but the ball fell out, and the Miller School takes the lead in the final hour. Unbelievable. So now it's John Michael Chefs, lefty on lefty, and Azaria will throw back to first. Take a pitch to calm him down. We've seen it all here in the Classic. And now the Miller School back in front 4-3. They have not led since it was 2-1 in the bottom of the second. Left-hander will throw back to first yet again. Of course, after what could have been out number 3, now you get a deal to John Michael Chef. He's 1 for 2 as a single, a ground out, and a sac fly today. Dorsey over at first. He's got some speed. He doesn't go there. The first pitch to Chef is called strike 1, an inside curveball. Well, Dorsey put one in play. Good things happen. It's the second error of the game, and it was originally an out. Dorsey couldn't believe it, but it didn't matter as the ball was dropped. The 0-1. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away here. Miller has now taken the lead 4-3 here, the bottom of the 6th. They are 3 outs away from heading to a Thursday game yet again here at the Classic for the 3rd straight year. Lexington trying to win another heartbreak here against the Miller School. The 1-1. That curveball is lined in the left center field. Coming on is Watson. He'll make the one-handed grab to retire the side. Wow, what a way. Miller takes the lead. Can they hold it? It's the heart of the Lexington order. We come back. Welcome back to Falcon Field. Another thriller between Miller and Lexington. And we now go to the 7th. Last afternoon, yesterday, Lexington had some 7th inning heroics. Can they do it again and get their team a
Leading off for
chance
Lexington, number 6, Graham
to
Coleman.
have a win yet again, play for a game tomorrow? They're down to their final 3 outs. It's Coleman, Kuiper, George against the southpaw Duncan. First pitch. Duncan fires. It's high, ball 1. Well, it's the heart of the Lexington order. It'll be the first time they're seeing Duncan, though. Of course, it'll come down to the wire yet again. The 0-1. Fastball high and away, nothing. 2-0. Well, the Miller School retakes the lead in the final hour. They were trailing for the middle portion of this game. They had the early lead, lost in the top of the 3rd, then regained it back in the bottom of the 6th. The 2-0. Fastball low, ball 3. 3 straight pitches out of the zone to Graham Coleman. With the tying run aboard with nobody out here. Dangerous pitch here for Duncan. He'll kick and deal, the 3-0. Fastball wide, a 4-pitch walk. Oh, a strike. I thought he was pointing to first. So 3-1 the count now. Found the up top outside part of the zone. Duncan kicks and deals the pitch. That's ball 4 up around the eyes. A 5-pitch walk.
Now batting number 10, Jackson Kuiper.
So a leadoff walk puts the tying run on the base pass. Kuiper is 3 for 3 today. However, those all 3 came against Drew Wade. Be Victor Kaczynski coming in to run for Graham Coleman. Well, Coleman does his job, reaches base via the walk for the 2nd time today. Victor Kaczynski at first. Kuiper going now to the dish. Left-hander on the hill. Kaczynski has still a pretty massive lead over there. First pitch home. Fastball. Called strike 1. Low outside 3rd. And we learned from yesterday watching the Flora game when Peck is when he's locked in, that ball dials back to the pitcher. That was a shot right back to Duncan. Back to first, and Kaczynski very close to the bag. It's going to be hard to run against the lefty, but I'm not sure what Coach Hucks wants to do. Last inning was ended by a ground-out double play from Spivey. The 0-1, now bunt shown. It's popped into the air left side. Can the 3rd baseman Tomlinson get it? No, it will find the on-deck circle for Lexington and run foul. Well, Kuiper did a great job not showing his hand until late. He just couldn't get the bunt down. Miller almost kind of got a little help from the other side of what that's been. It's now 0-2 here against Kuiper. The hottest hitter so far on the lineup, reached base all 3 times. The southpaw kicks and deals, the 0-2. That ball is tapped and lifted into shallow right center field. Mandela Brownman's got a reese, loses the cap, takes it off. The fire back to first is not in time, and it will stay out of the Miller dugout. Peck can't grab it, it goes to second. He would have had a great chance to get Kaczynski out at second. Well, I mean, Mandela Brownman put a strike back to first, was really close to getting Kaczynski. Kaczynski was a little farther than he thought he was. To fly out to center for out number 1, but now the tying run of the game, standing at second with 1 away. Very dangerous base running there for the Millers, for the Lexingtons. Now it's Cross George, the hero of yesterday. Hit the walk-off 3-run bomb. Another right-hander for the southpaw. He deals. The first pitch is called, strike 1, right down Broadway. Well, after him, it'd be Alan Hegler. Combined 3 home runs from the 2 yesterday. They're looking to play hero for Lexington and tie this game back up. No balls, 1 strike, 1 away, top 7. Duncan kicks and deals, the 0-1. Swung through and missed, change up low, it's 0-2. Of course, Duncan throwing harder than Drew Wade was. Go from someone who can hit response to velocity. That's what the Falcons had to deal with last night. Miller was able to hang on and stave off an upset bid from the, well, comeback bid from the Falcons. Duncan kicks and deals, the 0-2. Fastball, got him looking, strike 3. Hits the inside part of the plate, and there's 2 away. First punch out for Duncan. None bigger, his 3rd strikeout of the season. And now it's Alan Hegler. Well, here we go. Hegler, who can hit in the clutch, hits .462 with runners in scoring position. He'll get Duncan, who's trying for his first win of the season in his 3rd appearance, and to put Miller through to a Thursday appearance for the 3rd straight year. Time call from Hegler. We've seen that steering contest before where it was Monty last night going against Liam Frazier. Monty called time at the dish. Looked like it was more of a Duncan just making sure he's ready. And the southpaw come in and get a 5-out win. The first pitch to the right-hander. Fastball that's golfed into shallow left center field. Actually stay on the dirt in the infield. Chef, the shortstop, has it. It will make the two-handed grab. Ain't it so nice? They'll do it thrice. The Miller School will be going back to Thursday here at Falcon Field. They're looking for a three-peat, and the Falcons championship bid will end with the hands of the Lexington defeat. And now Miller becomes immediate AC Flora faithful. They are looking for the Falcons to win, and they will be into the championship game against TC Robertson. AC Flora at best can be in the third place game, Indian Land. Very happy with the result. They'll be back down here later today. A bunch of Falcons now will leave, and they'll show up later tonight. Well, on deck, Dorman, Airport. But we won't be going there. We're going to listen and deal with the, get to listen and look at the all-tournament teams. I actually didn't have a chance to pick these out this year, so maybe that surprises everyone else will be to figure it out. So that's always fun for me. And Lexington, a great game from Lexington. What a tournament from the Wildcats. Got walked off in game one, looked dead in the water game two, then scored 7 in the bottom half of the 7th to come back and walk off Indian Land. Was leading Miller heading into the, bottom of the 5th. And of course the Miller Mavericks do what they do best. Find ways to win. That's why Coach Wagner schedules the way he does. The amount of talent this team faces is unmatched. One of the hardest schedules in the country. And they'll continue that hard schedule against either Indian Land, or not in, either Dorman, Airport, or TC Robertson tomorrow. They'll have to await the winner of the Falcons and the Warriors tonight. Lexington, what a heck of a tournament it was. 1-2 performance again. The talent in this tournament unmatched here at Falcon Field this year. And every single game has delivered to the highest potential. I'll turn it over to the great Jim Stevens, and I'll let him talk about the all-tournament team and all academic.
All right, guys. First for Lexington Wildcats. The All-Academic Award goes to David Laney. And the All-Tourney Award goes to Cross George. For Miller School, All-Academic, Leo Caffarillo. And All-Tournament, Kason Wagner.
Well, I didn't get the chance to pick those out, but that's probably who I'd have given to. I looked at Jim or Stevens earlier today and said, you know what's the weird thing about this tournament? Kason Wagner pitched probably the, I would say probably the second best starting outing of anyone at the tournament thus far, and he gets the loss. That's just because of the best starting outing was Liam Roberson, who we went against. Well, the Miller School will have a chance to potentially get one more. It depends if they can get a win from the Falcons tonight. Lexington, their tournament is over, but they have had a great tournament and feels like their season is on the up and up. They're now 7-10. Miller 11-6. We will see Miller tomorrow, one way or another. Will it be the day cap, or will it be the afternoon one? Well, you still have to join me later tonight to find out. And then don't go anywhere, because a third place matchup is on the line, a berth between the Airport Eagles and the Norman Cavaliers. I'll give Miller a chance to have some fun in the outfield. Back-to-back victories for the Miller School. After a loss on Monday where they were blanked, they win back-to-back games. And you can see them in the back right of your screen. We'll see you later tonight. Thank you for joining me.